What do the lions in the African Congo and manatees in Tampa Bay have in common? They've both been hunted from above by the same airplane. This is the Aircam, born in the jungles of Africa for National Geographic, built to fly low, slow, and fearless over things that can kill you. Today, we're bringing it to Florida, but not to hunt the hunters, but to find the gentlest giants of the sea. And our pilot? He went from flying big iron with the Air Force to this, an airplane covered in cloth. Turns out the best seat in aviation doesn't have a thrust reverser. It barely has a windshield. Stick around. On this episode of Dive Bar Pilot, we're leaving the jet behind and we're going low and slow, but the view is amazing. Hey, my name is Jim, the Dive Bar Pilot. I fly around the country in my new Vision jet, introducing you to some of the most interesting people in America. I'll show you their passion for life, what drives them, as we learn more about their incredible accomplishments. So climb on board with me as we travel around our great country, visiting interesting destinations. I'll give you the behind-the-scenes look at amazing events and the most fascinating people in America who make it all happen. Hey, so I'm at my home airport. It's a little bit cold on a February morning, and I'm going to fly down to a power plant that's about 15 miles south of here, where the manatees come in, where the power plant has warm water. So I'm going to fly down to see the manatees low and slow in the jet. People say the Vision jet's a little bit slow, but maybe it's not slow enough. Let's take this. What's this? This is designed for low and slow. Let's take this. So I'm here with my neighbor, Butch, who's got this amazing Aircam. Butch, what do you got here?
Dr. Jim, welcome to Kermit the Aircam. Aircam is short for Air Camera. It was developed by a gentleman named Phil Lockwood. He's down in Sebring, Florida. He was originally contracted to do a wildlife shoot in Africa with an airplane very similar to this, only with a single engine. That's called a drifter. When he went back to do a second iteration of the wildlife shoot, it was in Namibia, and it was so far a remote area, he needed a twin engine airplane to make sure that he didn't go down on the food chain if he ever went down and lost an engine.
I love that. He's going to go down in somewhere in Africa and he'd be part of the food chain.
Right.
Back in the 80s, I did some flying for BBC, and they kept wanting me to fly over unlandable terrain. As I got older, I became less and less comfortable flying over that spectacular unlandable terrain, and I started dreaming of a twin that would enable me to fly on one engine with redundancy.
So he developed this twin engine airplane, and when he came back from the National Geographic wildlife shoot, people were so enamored with the airplane, he started developing kits out of Sebring, Florida. This kit is number 200. There's over 300 on the street as of today.
And it looks like it's made out of...
It's a sailcloth fabric, exactly right. This is nothing but a frame with a sailcloth cover.
And where's the gas tanks?
The gas tanks are right just above the inboard of the gap seals, and it holds 14 gallons a side. You have an endurance right at 4 hours with full fuel.
And you're going to put me up front.
I'm going to put you in the front because that's where the cameraman sat when they did the National Geographic shoot, so you can get a better view of the wildlife.
So tell me about you, because this is very different. You were in the Air Force for many years, and you flew big jets in the Air Force, and now you're flying this. Tell me your story.
So I got commissioned in 1977 from Syracuse University. I eventually worked my way into a pilot training slot and graduated in 1982, and I flew Special Operations C-130s. in the Philippines and Germany. And when I came back to the States, here in Tampa at MacDill Air Force Base at Special Operations Command, I got involved in general aviation. This is my fourth airplane of the 5 airplanes I've owned so far, and this is my second Aircam.
So after your years in the Air Force flying C-130s,
You then flew for FedEx for a number of
For
years,
25
right?
years, right.
And what kind of airplanes?
So I started out in the 727.
You're giving away your age now with the
Yes,
727.
exactly. And then I was the first officer on the A300-600. And then in my last 10 years, I was a captain on the 757 and 767.
What's it like, the difference between flying this and flying a 767?
It's a total paradigm change, but looking back on my career, the vast majority of my flying experience is in multi-engine airplanes. And this is a multi-engine airplane. It is total immersion. Yeah, it's just so much fun to fly, but what really makes it fun for a professional pilot is it's redundant and it's safe.
I think there's a good reason for that. A lot of airline pilots do love to fly, which is a good thing. And they're used to system redundancy. They're used to 2 or more engines. And so that combination of an airplane that is thrilling to fly gives you that great experience and that incredible view up front. And then having the 2 engines and the easy single engine performance is what I think draws them in.
Let's get going and find some manatees. These warm-blooded mammals breathe air and munch on plants all day. Although they look fat, they are not. Unlike seals and sea lions, they don't have any blubber, so they must stay in warm water to survive. Here in Tampa during the winter months, the manatees migrate to the area power plants to seek out the warm discharge water from the electrical generators. We have one of these power plants about 8 miles from our home airport, so let's get on board Kermit and find some manatees. As you zoom in, you see that our home airport is right on Tampa Bay. Our flight down to the power plant was only about 8 miles. Let's get going.
All right, we're going to take Kermit up and let's jump in the plane and make this happen.
I'm ready to go.
So when we're flying to see the manatees, how fast are we going to be flying?
Average cross-country speed is about 75 miles an hour, so it's a very low and slow airplane. The channel that the warm water comes out of the Apollo Beach power plant is about almost a mile long, and that water that's discharged is an attraction for the manatees because they're very temperature sensitive. And so during the winter months, they migrate into the channel, and at the very eastern end, there's a manatee viewing area for the public. And it has all the information about manatees and about their wildlife and their existence in the bay.
And if people want to know that, if they're ever in the Tampa Bay area, it's in Apollo Beach, Florida, which is just south of Tampa.
From the jungles of the Congo to the waters of Tampa Bay. Same airplane, same low and slow, completely different world. I'm Dr. J. Subscribe and fly with me as we meet some of the most interesting people in America.